In a world where Microsoft virtualization is still considered to be the underdog by some, the Hyper-V Amigos enlighten the IT crowds on how they could very well be mistaken.
So in this episode, I have an MVP friend of mine, a young fellow from east of Germany. You will tell me in which country you are now. I know you were I think in the Yemen.
Emirates. In the Emirates.
Emirates.
Yes.
Emirates.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's very hot
in Dubai.
there.
In fact, now it's very beautiful weather, around 24, 22 degrees. So
that's very nice. We have a little bit snow here, so it's around 0. But let's introduce you first, Charbel. Charbel, Nemnom.
Yes.
You know, I have always difficulties to pronounce your
pronounce my name. Yeah, exactly.
Because it's French, right?
Exactly. Yes, French.
Okay, Charbel, you are an Hyper-V MVP, or you were an Hyper-V MVP like
yes.
I am. You are now a cloud and a data center management MVP. And how often did you receive your MVP award till now? 3rd, 4th?
I got my Microsoft MVP award back in October 2014. So this will be my 3rd year in a row.
It's your 3rd year.
Yes, October 2014.
And we met 2 times in Redmond, I think, and we did already a video interview, right? I remember in a hotel.
Yes. The first time I was awarded, so it was 1 month to finish my paper and take my visa and travel. It was October and November. Then we went to Redmond.
Yeah. That was you're very eager to get there, right?
Yes. Exactly.
It was a great MVP summit. But today we want to talk. First, tell us you're working in the Emirates as an IT specialist focused on Microsoft Data Center stuff.
Exactly, Microsoft Data Center. So I work in Dubai, in United Arab Emirates, focusing on smart education and e-learning, which is based on Microsoft Cloud solution, specifically Microsoft Hyper-V, Windows Server, System Center, and Microsoft Azure. Besides my work, I do public speaking here in the region, and I blog frequently on my blog's website and on Starwind blog as well.
Yeah, you are. I was at your website some minutes ago, and you are doing a lot of blog posts, and I admire that because I haven't the time to do so much work than you do.
Yes.
And you are even writing on 2 books, or 1 book is finished now, or in the last phase of publishing it, right? It will be available soon, or is it already available?
It's already available. The Windows Server 2016 Hyper-V is already out 3 weeks back, end of January. And now I'm in the middle of the 2nd book, getting started with the Windows Nano Server. So I'm almost hopefully a couple of months, the book will be live, published up.
Okay, how first question, how you do that? Because you work a lot of time, you blog a lot of time, and you're writing actually 2 books or 1 book in the moment. How do you find the time?
Short answer, no sleeping.
No sleeping. No sleeping at all.
This is a short answer. Yes, exactly. So it was a challenge to take and accept this opportunity at least once in life. So the book takes so much time, the long process. I believe you also reviewed a couple of books in the past, and you know how it's time consuming to write the book. But it was a nice after a year, 9 months of writing, your baby is born.
Yeah, I have to confess, I'm actually not a writer. My wife is a writer, as you know. She's producing book after book, and I admire that. But I reviewed some books.
No IT, not IT stuff.
No, my wife is not writing IT stuff. She's writing romances. But I reviewed, I think, 2 or 3 books, and that was also time consuming. So I imagine writing the stuff is much harder. Yeah. So the actual book we want to talk about, it's Windows Server 2016 Hyper-V Cookbook, and it's a 2nd edition.
Yes, the second edition.
Yeah,
the first edition was written by our former fellow MVP, Leandro Carvalho. Now he's a Microsoft Premier Field engineer. He's working for Microsoft. And back in 2012, I bought this book at the time, and I like the way it was written and revised. So I like it, and I learned a lot from this book as a starter. So, and I got contacted by the publisher to review it, to update it to 2016. So we went to go for 2012 to 2012 R2, and then 2016. So it was 1 year between 2012 and 2012 R2. So we have a lot of reviewing and upgrading the content to. And Leonardo did a very good job in the first edition. And I called also my Patrick Rounds from Hewlett Packard Enterprise consultant also to help me in writing this book, because this is 524 pages. It's quite a big book.
524 pages.
524 pages. So yes.
Oh, it's much larger than the first book, because I remember I was a reviewer in the first book, and it was around 300 pages. So of course Hyper-V has much more possibilities now, and so it's bigger than the first book.
Yeah, exactly. You cannot go through, and we cut. By the way, we cut a lot of pages. So the publisher said we cannot go beyond the 500. We were 600 plus, and we cut some. Anyway, there's always something for improvement, but I'm happy.
So you actually have a co-author, that's Patrick Lance. He's also an Hyper-V MVP, or a former Hyper-V MVP, is also now a Cloud and Data Center Management MVP, because our beloved Hyper-V MVP, how you call it, is not there anymore. We are now all Cloud and Data Center Management MVPs, and I'm a little bit sad about that. I loved our group. It was really great. Yeah,
that was very big bucket.
Yeah. So, Charbel, let's talk a little bit about what you covered in the book. We looked at it before, and it has actually 11 chapters, right?
Yes, 11 chapters. So we shared half chapters between me and Patrick, and we went to reviewing and updating the content for each chapter. So we'll talk about what chapters cover and each point at the highlight titles of the research that we covered. So we start first. Before we need to thank you really before we start dive on the book, we need to thank you Microsoft products team for helping us, because as being an MVP is really helping to write a book, because if you are passionate about a Microsoft product or specific technology, you will never spend that time on something that you have no passion for. So and being an MVP and in fact close to the Microsoft product group. Back in Redmond, I have the privilege to access and evaluate early access of the release of the product, so we have more time to learn. So I started writing this book starting on the 2016 technical preview 2. So almost 1 year before the GA to write the book, almost a year before October 2016. And I said, yes, so you learn more, you understand the technology more, and it will help you to even to improve your writing skills. So I took it from this positive point and accepted the challenge, and I went through at least to have a book under my name. So this was my first.
Okay, let's see. My picture is gone. Just wait a moment. I don't know why.
From my side, I think it's still working.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay now. I was just gone. My picture was just gone. But okay.
Your voice is fine.
So let's go through the chapters. What is all covered in the book? So of course you start easy, I assume, right?
Yes.
With chapter 1.
Exactly. Yes, we start by installing the easiest part.
Is it?
Yeah, installing Hyper-V, all the requirements. What the requirements is. You have processor, slot processor, and two inspected machine. If it's supported to run Hyper-V on top, and then we go enabling Hyper-V, and we cover it in installing full server, server core, the free Hyper-V server, and Nano server. So we have now a new option, the Windows Server, Nano server.
And I understand you're writing a book about Nano, so there will be a whole book, maybe 300 to 500 pages, only Nano.
It's not 500, I believe around 300. So
okay. So Nano server is the new great offering for born in the cloud applications, right?
The future of Windows Server, if you take it this way.
Microsoft said that. So I have to ask you, do you think the same, that Nano server is the future, or do you think there will be full server and core server for a long time?
No, I see it will be, but not in the near future.
Okay.
I see it coming, but not in the near future, yes.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of learning for us, it's okay, for IT admin, normal IT admins, there is learning curve. And it's designed for infrastructure, cloud infrastructure, and born of cloud applications, so for containers. So there is for both for dev side and for the IT pro side.
Okay, so we will see that in the future if Nano is really the thing that administrators will go. I have my doubt in the moment. I assume when I talk to people, they even don't do really core. They want the full thing most of the time. So let's see. A lot of convincing maybe there. But your book will maybe help.
Yes. In fact, all my production I go full server core for now. Because faster and less patching and faster rebooting. Full server is heavy, unless you are using the remote desktop services.
Yeah. Okay, then in chapter 2, you after installing all the stuff, and I assume, like I know,
managing through PowerShell, and we go to migrate and upgrade.
Okay, but first, I think you have a lot of screenshots in the book, right?
Yes, so that's why the book, because I cover a lot of screenshots. So even people that are not experienced in Hyper-V, I want to also take the benefit. It's not level 400, so 200 to 300, so they can see what we are. There's a screenshot for every site that we are covering.
Okay. So then in chapter 2, you talk about migrating and upgrading physical and virtual servers. So upgrading takes a large, it has its own chapters. That is why.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that's answer because we covered a lot of in-place upgrades. Now 2016 we have in-place upgrades supported. And there are some, we mentioned some credits about the networking. If you have pre-existing Hyper-V, you need to note your network and remove the theming before you upgrade, and then exporting, importing from earlier version to 2016. Now we talk about the new integration services update. How you want to also update them after your migration. The cross version shared nothing like migration from 2012 to 2016. The storage migration as well. And if you still have converting the virtual hard disk VHD to VHDX. And upgrading the VM configuration. Now it's a separate operation. You need to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
This will have to move around if you still have older version 2012 R2 between 2016. And last but not least, we covered also the physical to virtual machines.
Okay.
Using Microsoft tools, so we not talk about any third-party tools in this process.
So you use actually
disk tool VHD. Yes.
Yeah, there's this internal tool. Yeah, I use it also
in
the
really
past.
Quite, yes.
It's a nice tool. Okay, then we have covered the upgrading stuff, and then you go to managing disk and network settings.
Network settings, yes. Here about creating, another important topic as well, creating and adding virtual hard disks, configuring IDE, Generation 1 and virtual SCSI controller. For Gen 2, we configure the storage quality of servers. Here, the storage quality of servers, not the cluster one. The cluster is coming on the high level chapter. So there's normal storage quals, adding and configuring virtual firewall channel.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't see a lot of people using this, but it's a feature available, and we need to talk about it to connect to your SAN, legacy storage, we call it.
Yeah.
Creating resource pools, Ethernet, network processors, and put them on the pools. Enabling and adding NIC teaming using the LBFO, the traditional, and the new NIC teaming in 2016.
Wow.
Switch embedded teaming set. So covered also. So I want to cover 2012 R2 and 2016 because the book was 2012. I don't want to jump directly to 2016, so that's why we have a lot of topics to talk about. Yeah. And then we went to advanced virtual network settings. And the last one, removing hot add VM NICs for 2016 on the fly.
So there's a lot of stuff you covered in chapter 3, and there when you talk about it, I recognize there is a lot of done in networking, like the STT switch and the LBFO and all the other settings. Do you also talk a little bit about VMQ and this stuff, or?
Yes, VMQ, but not in depth. Yes, we talk about VMQ.
Okay, cool.
The advanced virtual machines.
Yeah. So then we are at chapter 4, saving time and cost with Hyper-V automation. Though this seems like PowerShell, right?
Yes, this is a heavily PowerShell. But we started basics command. We don't go to write the scripts. But we started by learning the basic command, and then what is the most common daily task day-to-day use PowerShell, and then how you enable PowerShell remoting to manage PowerShell remoting and PowerShell Direct.
Yeah.
So PowerShell remoting for all and the new PowerShell Direct for 2016. This is really a very, very nice feature.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
So thanks to Sarah. Yes. This is really helpful. And last but not least, Hyper-V management, where you can connect to IP address or to manage work group hosts from Hyper-V Manager and PowerShell improvement. So this also we covered on this 2016.
Great, and they changed even the interface, the downlaying interface. They switched from VMI to WSMan, I think, and there are also a lot of changes there. One that I don't know if you mentioned in the book, but recently I saw it on your blog post with the Kerberos live migration, or the live migration that used the Kerberos protocol. This change in the management also implied some changes there, right? Did you talk about it in the book? Had you time to include it?
I covered the Kerberos in the availability chapter, but we used the Kerberos only protocol, it will fail. So today I was reviewing the book. I said, "Come on, that's why when you write an IT book, every day there are changes." So we covered the Kerberos 2012 R2, and then in production, you saw, I believe, the mail on the DL that I'm facing issue. I cannot live migrate from my management machine because no one will log into anymore to Hyper-V host and do live migration. And then the product team, they said this is the new Kerberos delegation. So I blog about it, how to automate it with PowerShell, so you can do it, and then you can. So always there is some improvement to do and update.
Yeah, it is. So we are at chapter 5 now.
5. Yes.
Hyper-V best practice tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks.
It's early, right? It's early in chapter 5 already. The tricks. So what did you cover there?
We talk about Hyper-V best practice analyzer. Many people miss this built-in best practice analyzer to how to use it in Server Manager or PowerShell, or if you can write small script to give you an HTML report and see if. So according to Microsoft best practice rules, so to have Hyper-V running, and then we went to optimizing virtual machine resources. So we talk about dynamic memory, runtime memory size for 2016, add static and remove memory, and NUMA. About NUMA spanning, NUMA spanning, and this also I would like to thank DDA for supporting me in this very complex topic.
Yeah, it is really complex, and I usually don't touch NUMA at all. I let Hyper-V figure it out.
Yes, I had a chance. I had big host 200 GB memory, so I can try it and show it exactly in action and how it's failing and using the old socket memory.
Yeah.
So it was a good learning for this. And then we went to enabling Hyper-V nested virtualization.
This should be. I love this feature. This should be a topic on its own, right?
Yes, yes. Well, it's a couple of pages on its own. But it's not only for lab. Microsoft did not enable it because they love us only.
Yeah.
About containers. So yes, we covered nested virtualization, and then we went to graphic virtualization in 2016 DDA, direct device assignment.
Yeah, not DDA. I actually,
DDA.
I'm actually was working today on a Hyper-V Amigo showcast that I did with DDA about DDA. I will be
Nice.
out
So
too.
how you difficult to call DDA and cover DDA?
Yeah, but the nice thing is our fellow MVP DDA is also very good in DDA.
Yes, yes. You like
So-
this feature so much. I have special tips for him. So this is not shared. No, this is in the book I shared it. So if he's hearing now us, so Microsoft is planning for supporting virtual GPU partitioning.
Oh,
So now GPU partitioning, yes. So I got the permission from the Redmond team to put it in the book, but it's not functioning. The PowerShell commands are there.
okay.
I mentioned them in the book, so I will not go into more details in the book, but yes, I mentioned them about this.
Oh, so you can
Microsoft
talk
is
about it.
planning the future.
I didn't know that they are working on it because this is
Yes,
the
yes.
missing part where then
Exactly.
DDA with GPUs is as good as in other hypervisors, right?
Yes.
So you
So
can.
this is
Yeah.
Microsoft developed this technology for the hardware, like for NVIDIA, Intel, and AMD. Those
Yeah.
are three leaders on the world. So NVIDIA, they call their great vGPU. So Microsoft they developed for them to embrace this, so we can partition GPU and use it. I believe it maybe in the next release, but not now. But
Yeah.
the PowerShell command are there. This is nice. So they're already there. You can see add -VM GPU partitioning adapter.
Yeah, but
are
Charbel,
useless.
wait. We know that Nano server, for example, is you have to have software assurance for Nano server because you get new features with Nano. So maybe in the next Nano version
Maybe,
it will be possible.
By the way, DDA is supported on Nano, but RemoteFX not supported on Nano. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
direct
So-
device assignment is supported. Yes.
Let's see. So then, chapter 6, we are already only half into
Security.
the book. Security and delegation
Delegate
of
and control. Yes.
So
So
what do you do
security,
there?
security. Microsoft clear message in 2016: security. So we start by we should have the Hyper-V update, the basics. This is bottom rule that you have update always your Windows server. How you want to delegate control in Hyper-V using just enough administration G.
Yeah.
So there is no UI now to delegate, but with J you can develop, can build your own access and UI to give your exact permission to your team.
Mhm.
And then you went to configuring external port access port list. So how to restrict the network and allowing specific subnet. And then we install and configure the BitLocker to protect disk for virtual machines.
Mhm.
And then how to configure Hyper-V auditing using group policy. So you know if someone changed anything on the drive, you know it will be audited, logged. And then we covered the virtual machine secure boot, which is now supported for Linux virtual machine as well. And then we talk about the virtual machine, virtual TPM, and shielded virtual machines. So
Oh,
those are
God.
also.
This is all.
But we missed one feature. So we missed one feature. I was today talking to Patrick. I said we missed the key storage drive. I have a blog about it, but because I said that we need to remove some pages, so Patrick took out the key storage drive, which is for Generation 1 virtual machine. So
Yeah.
also a very important feature.
When I hear you talking about, I now get the impression how does all the stuff fit in only 500 pages? It's
Yes,
so
not
much. And
so much.
we are talking about these features for a while now, so you get it, you take it for granted. But now when we are talking about it here in the podcast, I there is so much in Hyper-V 2016, so much new stuff, unbelievable, amazing. So I can't wait to get your book in my hands and
Yes, soon.
browse through
Soon.
it, through it.
I'll send you a copy soon.
This is nice. So then chapter 7, configuring
Before we jump
high
to chapter
available.
7,
Yeah.
yes, before jumping to chapter 7, the host resource protection as well, where you enable on the CPU to when any malware, I remember every time I speak about this feature, host resource protection, I remember Ben mentioned Mark Zuvanich. He blew his demo on Azure. So
actually, I have also done an interview with Ben, and he was mentioning that there on Ignite. He talked about it in the keynote, right? Or in the Hyper-V note, yeah. So, but now chapter 7, configuring high availability in Hyper-V. How long is this? Clustering. There's so much stuff in clustering. So what do you talk about?
We configured creating Hyper-V cluster on using traditional block storage, PSV, and SMB.
Of course.
Yeah. Which type of storage I want to use?
Yeah. How long is chapter 7?
How many pages you mean?
Yeah. How many pages? 80?
Oh, maybe.
So clustering is such a large part.
Yeah, by itself, a dedicated chapter.
You can write a book only about clustering, right?
Yes, if you want to go deeper into detail, yes, easy. So around 80 pages.
Around 80 pages. That's
yes.
So you covered how to set up a cluster with block storage, cluster with SMB storage, some stuff like the rolling
cluster update, exactly. Cluster aware update.
Yeah.
Live migration, configuring VM priority, the traditional one, the high, low, medium, and then VM load balancing, the new feature of 2016.
Yeah, cool.
And VM compute and VM storage resiliency.
Yeah, okay. So you had to left some things on the table because there is so much stuff in clustering. It's unbelievable. So then, chapter 8, disaster recovery.
Recovery.
Yeah.
Yes,
I hear by something like replica there.
Yes, replica here.
So what did you cover there?
We started first by backing and restoring using Windows Server backup. This is no one new in production, but this is built in. We don't want to cover any third-party software or System Center. So we kept it native to Windows Server, which is the Windows Server backup, which is Hyper-V aware.
Yeah.
So we covered the backup and restore, and then we went to the Hyper-V replica between 3 Hyper-V hosts, ABC, and covering the new 2016 feature, virtual hard disk for 2016.
Okay.
And we covered the Hyper-V replica broker for failover cluster.
Yeah.
And then we enable it using HTTPS, using certificate based, using enterprise CA for secure replication. And last but not least, we cover the checkpoints, standard and production checkpoints.
Yeah.
This is not disaster recovery, but we need the production now are kind of.
You have to put it somewhere, right?
Yes. So
you. Checkpoints. Yeah, there is another great feature in Windows Server 2016, the storage replica stuff, but I think you didn't have time or space to put it in there, right?
Yes, storage replica also of storage spaces direct, so we did not go on those details.
Okay. So
but in Nanobook, this is yes, depth configuring Nano server on storage spaces direct, using even the switches and the dedicated chapter for it.
Okay, I'm looking forward to your Nanobook. I'm really looking forward to it. So then in chapter 8, we are in chapter 8, right? Disaster recovery for Hyper-V?
Yes.
Oh no, we had that. Chapter 9, Azure site recovery and Azure backup for Hyper-V.
Yes, yes. I get question why you want to talk about Azure in the book, and they change out every day. Azure introducing new features. But especially for Hyper-V and Azure Site Recovery, there are not a lot of changes. Maybe every couple of months or maybe 6 months, the last time they changed something related to you are using Hyper-V replication to Azure using ARM. So I covered step by step, even with the screenshots. And last feature, the Microsoft Azure Backup Server Maps, which is free. We talk about it. If you get to how you can back up your Hyper-V virtual machines to Azure. So I fit the backup to Azure and at the same time to replicate to Azure on a dedicated chapter.
Yeah, okay, I assume you are a big fan of Azure Site Recovery and Azure Backup, right?
Yes, yes. I work a lot on DPM and Azure Backup Server is the same.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
But as of now, it's not supported 2016, so I believe very soon.
Okay.
It's still not supported. The Max Azure Backup Server, but DPM, yes, we support 2016.
That's
I
right.
believe soon
Okay.
we'll do this.
Yeah.
Chapter 10.
Chapter 10. We have only two chapters left.
Yes.
Okay. What is chapter 10? Monitoring, tuning, and troubleshooting Hyper-V. That's an important chapter, right?
Yes. How to use the real-time monitoring tools. The built-in tool. What are the main performance logs?
Yeah.
Use the latency of the disk on average and networking and the CPU. All the counters. How to use VM monitoring as well. How to monitor the Hyper-V replica. How to enable and use resource metering as well.
Yeah.
How to tune your Hyper-V server. What is the most important to tune your Hyper-V. And last but not least, we cover the event viewer. We want all the event viewer to troubleshoot. Yes, yeah. Important logs and to keep your eye close to logs when something happens.
Cool. A lot of stuff. And then you have a chapter 11 is an appendix.
Yeah, appendix. Yeah, here it's kind of architecture and components. We started by understanding the hypervisors. So starting from virtual server.
Yeah.
And then the evolvement to Hyper-V 2016, the architecture, the backup improvement that we have now, the RCT and the resilience change tracking.
Yeah.
In 2016, and then the difference between with the server Hyper-V, Nano server, free Hyper-V server, the Hyper-V client on Windows 10 desktops, and VMware vSphere 6.5. So we did the head-to-head comparison.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
To our fan. We talk a bit about the licensing model. Microsoft changed the licensing model in 2016 to core-based license. So
yeah, this is for Windows Server. We have to be clear. It's for Windows Server. It's not for Hyper-V.
Not for Hyper-V. Yes.
Hyper-V is still free. Yeah, and all the features are included in Hyper-V. At least the features that are not.
Clustering.
Yeah, clustering is included. Not the storage replica stuff.
Not storage. Yes, and not remote FX.
Yes. Yeah, not storage bases direct, but all the other stuff, 64 node clusters, even with 24 terabyte of memory. Did you mention that in the book?
Yes, exactly. I have a very nice table for this.
So you covered a lot in the book, and I'm really looking forward to it. I thought, of course, I do Hyper-V all the day, and but there are some nice things in there I want to look at, and I'm looking forward to a copy of the book.
You will receive a soon one.
That's really great, and I think you and Patrick, you did a nice job and put a lot of knowledge into the book, and I think it's very useful. Yeah? Yes, so it's available as an ebook and as a printed book, right?
Exactly. You can order from the Pack Publishing or from Amazon. It's available.
Yeah.
Yeah, as an ebook or Kindle or hard copy. I still like hard copy, in fact. So I have Kindle and I have ebook, but I still have.
Yeah, for IT books, I think a paper book is better to have something in hand. It's heavy, and so Charbel, do you know what the price is of the book? 50 euros, maybe.
I believe yes, around 50 euros. Yes.
Yeah. I think
euros.
it's worth the 50 euros. But of course you don't write a book to earn a lot of money.
To get rich, right? Exactly.
No,
yes.
No.
Never. IT books never get you rich.
I think books don't get you really rich. It's a lot of time you put in there and a lot of knowledge. And actually, how many hours would you think did you invest in the book?
Hours.
What would you say?
I did not count the hours. In fact, I work on it 1 year, but 1 year is not full time, of course. So
yeah,
1 year, let's say per day, let's say 3 to 4 hours, and you can multiply it for 365 days. So roughly, do some calculation. Yes, a lot of time consuming.
1,000 hours?
Yes, around 1,000 hours. Because after not only writing, the writing after the pre-final, and then you need, but between you and the publisher, they're sending you multiple times to review and correct. So there's also
I know
feedback. You know the process, the long process.
Yeah, and then you have to write it. You have to do all the research, all the stuff.
Research,
screenshots.
Around 1,000 hours.
Yeah. Wow.
You have a lab. You need to have a lab and run it.
I was thinking to be a reviewer again on a book, but no, I don't think so. Because
you are most welcome to join the Nano Book Review.
I'm very interested in the nano stuff, I must confess, but I actually have no time. So I know when you get a chapter from the author, you have to be very fast with the review.
A couple of days.
Yeah, a couple of days, and that's very hard for me because I'm organizing a conference in the moment.
Yes.
I'm doing podcasts, showcasts, and so on. The time stuff is really hard. I actually have 4 or 5 interviews from Ignite still not
pending.
Not cut, not sent to the guys, and now it's nearly half a year after Ignite. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Actually,
yes.
It is.
September. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
5 months.
Unbelievable. And we did an interview on Ignite. Do you remember?
Yes.
The 4 of us.
Yes, Philip and Didier.
Okay. Charbel, great book, great work you did with Patrick, and I'm really looking forward to the book, and I hope you have a lot of success with it, because this is really needed, because documentation and books are not really there in the Microsoft universe. I know there are other hypervisors. There is a lot of stuff there, but we need such things that this book. And I'm very grateful you did it, because less and less people write books anymore because there's no money in it. It's
exactly.
Yeah, and so it's very important that we have such a thing. And when we talked about the outline, it's great. A lot of stuff. I will look at it.
Yeah, thank you so much. So. In the final words, I'd like to thank everyone, Patrick and Leandro, and you as well, Carsten, and Didier, and all the Microsoft product individually for supporting us. This was what benefited us to be an MVP. We got some feedback, accurate documentation statement before we write in the book. So this was also a long process, you know.
Yeah.
Very busy back on Redmond. They can't cancel to you immediately, so that's why. And last but not least, for my family supporting me, because you are cutting your leisure time and your family time to sit down and write the book for a couple hours, a couple nights.
So no traveling the last year?
I did not. Yes, I said that this year no traveling. I need to do these 2 books to.
So then it is good that the MVP summit is moved to next year, right?
Yes, now move to March. Wow, a year and a half.
And I was not on the last MVP summit. It was my first MVP summit. I was not there, and now it's 1.5 years.
So 2 years
for the next. Yeah. Okay, Charbel, great to talk to you. Much success with the stuff, and see you soon.
And good luck for your conference as well. All the best.
Thank you.